This video serves as part one of showing how to make an enlarged print in the darkroom using film from your 35mm camera. To set up on this enlarger, I'm going to make sure that my power source is on. I'm going to make sure that my timer is set to 5 seconds for my initial test strip steps. And I've got some other pieces of equipment that are familiar and some that are unfamiliar. I've got my film and my proof sheets right here. Those are going to serve as, I need to use my film obviously to make a print. I've got a piece of cardboard because I do need to make a test strip, just like in previous videos, previous demonstrations. But for making a print, I don't need a contact printer. I actually am not going to use this and print through glass. I'm going to get rid of this. I'm going to move it over here. And I'm going to grab one of these easels. These yellow easels are the easiest ones to use that we have. They have a slot right here that our paper slides into, and it holds it in place, but there's nothing in the way. So your paper is actually open-faced right here, facing up towards your enlarger lens. To make a print, I will eventually stop my lens down to one of these middle settings, like an f8. But for my initial step, I'm actually going to keep it wide open at an f4. I picked out one of these images. I'm going to use this picture of our dog right here, and I'm going to grab my film, and I'm going to find the piece of film that corresponds to that row on the test, on the proof sheet, and it's this one right here. So I'm going to pull this out. And remember that we've got two sides of our film. I have this setting with the emulsion side up so it doesn't scratch. And on this enlarger, I'm going to pull out the negative carrier. You can see I've got a rectangular opening right there, and I should be able to get nice and close. I'm going to open this up, and I'm doing this one-handed, so you'll be able to do this a lot easier with two hands. And I'm going to take my film strip. You can see the different negatives. Where my finger is, I'm not using that frame. I'm actually using the frame one over from it right there. And I'm going to set it emulsion side down into that opening, which is hard to see because it's not lit up. And when I close it up, I can then recenter. See how you can see the sprocket holes there, sort of? I'm going to slide that over so that eventually, let me pick the whole thing up. I hope we don't get seasick. You can see there's my frame inside my negative carrier. And when I slide the whole thing in, carefully like that, I should, with the help of my flipping off the white lights, when I turn on the focus button, you should see my negative. There it is. Nice and bright. And to initially set this up, I'm going to roughly resize it by lowering this a little bit. You can see it gets a little bit brighter. And I'm going to outline the next steps in a separate video. So this is setting up my enlarger. I've got my supplies over here somewhere, cardboard, negatives, etc. I've switched out my contact printer for an easel. I'll show you how that works in a little bit. And I've got my negative ready to go in my enlarger. So stay tuned for part 2.